He's a party boy. He even admits it. I like to go out and just, he's just going to take it easy. He's going to party down. Doesn't know anything about anything. We all can see that now. Who cares about his clothes? He does. He still can't get over the fact that he's mayor. Does not know anything. And, really, it's kind of, I told you guys about this. I told you, and things have gotten so much worse. Crime is up 50 to 60%. And you go to hell, John Miller. Oh, well, shootings are down in this category. They always do that. They try to spin us when we can see it. We can feel it. We can feel it. And by the way, did you know that the deputy commissioner of counterterrorism, we have a deputy commissioner for counterterrorism. His name is John Miller. Well, he's also the deputy commissioner for press relations. And he's also out there talking about shootings and crap like that. My father, who he employed as the deputy commissioner for counterterrorism? A spook who ran the Central Intelligence Agency, a guy by the name of David Cohen, and no kidding, spy. That's the kind of guy. And by the way, you didn't really see him all that much, But you got John Miller on TV posing for the cameras, just all over the place on television. And oh, by the way, people don't watch the local news like they didn't, so he's really just spinning his wheels. All right, so Eric Adams, we are seeing more cops leave the force than at any time since we've been keeping records on this stuff. 1,500 officers have either resigned or retired this year. And the Post says that is that rate, the largest exodus of officers since the statistics have been available. Statistics. All right. So what does Mayor Party Boy think about this? Cut one? No, I don't care, man. Just cut one from Eric Adams.
There are reports that over 500 cops are resigning and over 1,000 are retiring. Does that concern you?
No, it does not. New York City Police Department is an amazing career. I know it firsthand. And we're going to find young men and women who are going to want to be a member of the New York City finest. We got an amazing recruitment campaign coming in. This is a great opportunity to diversify the department. So no, people will always want to join the New York City Police Department. It's one of the best careers you could have in the city.
Wow. Diversify the police department. We have cops from every country on the planet. Every single country on the planet is inside the NYPD. No, it doesn't concern me at all there, Rosanna. Rosanna Scotto, everybody. My buddy. Let's see here. Next, what does he say? Well, he's going to make do with less, right? He knows how to deploy these officers. Just ask him. Cut 60.
We are not deploying our resources properly. And the police commissioner and I and her team, we are looking at the proper deployment of police officers. You're seeing a difference on our parades. You don't see 5, 6 police officers standing at the corner together. You're seeing us deploy our police properly.
He's been the de facto mayor for a year. 1 year. He won the primary, remember? Last June. Where's this freaking plan, huh? What the hell's he waiting for? This is what he ran on. He's the crime fighter, right? I told you guys he didn't know anything. Is this a guy trying to make up stuff or what? Can I hear that again? He's tap dancing. He doesn't know. It's words that sound good. Go ahead, one more time. Listen to this. It's nothing.
We are not deploying our resources properly. And the police commissioner and I and her team, we are looking at the proper deployment of police officers.
Oh, deployment. You're looking at it now. You're seeing a difference on our parades.
You don't see 5, 6 police officers standing at the corner together.
Actually, you do, and sometimes you should. He's an idiot. He is a party boy, and he knows nothing, and New York deserved so much better. My God, it really is awful. Oh, and don't forget, he's a racist. Last one.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department when he went under black law enforcement.
He kicked those crackers' ass. He kicked those crackers' ass. He kicked those crackers' ass. Wow. Wow. Oh, boy. We got a problem. Hey, reminder, don't ride the subway. If you can afford it, if you have an alternative, do not go down there. I'm not kidding. It is dangerous. It's more tense than ever before. And a lot of it, sorry, is race-driven. I'll be right back. Tomorrow, and I think everybody should buy this book. Let's support a woman named Kathleen Buhle. Buhle. She used to be named Kathleen Biden, but that name is such a heartbreak to her after she divorced Hunter. Good for her. She changed her name back to her maiden name, Buhle, and she has a new book out, and she's putting it all out there. And I say, quite frankly, good for her. A couple of things here. She has real financial concerns, and she did even when she was married to Hunter, because Hunter, who's making millions, was blowing it all on drugs, prostitutes, and multiple girlfriends that he had. The guy is such a bum, and that goes for his father as well. And you'll see here, you'll be reminded. Now, I remember when we first met this guy, when I first became aware of Joe Biden in 1987, this motormouth who could not stop lying about his education. Remember, he said he had 3 undergraduate degrees. He's graduated from the top of his law school class. He got the International Honorable Moot Court Competition Award. All this crap. It was all of it. Everything he said was a lie. He had to drop out of the race. It was that bad. And now he's the same guy. And he lies like crazy. There's a big fat one here. So Miranda Devine, the great opinion columnist with the New York Post, native of Australia, by the way. She is brilliant. She has a great book out, too. Laptop from Hell. No one in the mainstream will tell this story. I wonder why not. It is so, look, it's important to tell. It's substantive, actually. It's factual. And quite frankly, it's pretty juicy. It's the kind of thing that we gravitate toward. We do. We just, I wish we didn't or whatever, and that's just besides the point. This is real news. Anyway, here we go. It's what she doesn't say that makes Kathleen Buhle's divorce memoir, If We Break, out Tuesday so compelling. For 24 years, she was, of course, Kathleen Biden, wife of the notorious Hunter, the daughter-in-law of the president. In the final chapter, she goes to D.C. Superior Court to renounce her married name and reclaim her identity as Kathleen Buhle of Chicago's working-class South Side. She never explains explicitly why she abandoned the Biden name, although taunts from Hunter after their ugly divorce played a role. "Are you enjoying your last name?" he would say. Still, her book makes clear that despite the immense privileges, being a Biden isn't all it's cracked up to be. Kathleen makes no mention in the lengthy acknowledgments of any Biden other than her 3 daughters, Maisie, Finnegan, and Naomi. Oh, Naomi's getting married at the White House this November. In fact, hey, wait a second. Is Naomi a lesbian? Not that I'm judging, but whatever. Could you find that out? One of these girls, I believe, is a lesbian. And I'd just like to know which one. In fact, she says she was always made to feel lower class and that she wasn't a true member of the Biden family. Early in her marriage, she recalls, we were taking family photos and Hunter's aunt, Val, was running the show. At one point, she announced, "Now let's do Biden blood only." Biden blood only? Non-blood relatives get out of the picture? Have you ever heard of something like that? Ever? Let's see here. When the Secret Service told her before Inauguration Day in 2009 that only Hunter and their daughters would be protected, she felt embarrassed. Did this mean I was less important than my husband and my kids? Kathleen fell pregnant within months of meeting Hunter fresh out of college when they were serving in the Jesuit Volunteer Corps in Portland, Oregon. She was shocked at the opulence of his lifestyle when he took her home to his father's former DuPont mansion in Greenville, Delaware. Joe liked to describe himself as the poorest man in Congress, and Hunter told Kathleen he came from a middle-class family, but she told him, "Hunt, a kid from a middle-class family does not have a ballroom." That's a good point, right? A ballroom. What do we have? We had a living room, we had a dining room, and then we had a basement that we actually furnished much later on. We finished it. What do you call it when you make the basement? You know, we made the basement a TV room. And then later on, we added a den, not a ballroom. Let's see here. The front door opened into a foyer with a marble floor and double staircase. He had a tuxedo hanging in his closet, a tuxedo he used fairly regularly. I'm not sure that's by the way, don't rent a tuxedo, fellas. If you ever got to wear a tuxedo, just buy one, all right? Yeah. All right. Hunter had instant entry into the world of, this is kind of boring, quite frankly. I mean, she's a good writer, but the dad was a U.S. senator, so he got, jobs he wasn't qualified for at salaries that were ludicrous. They lived beyond their means. They bought houses they could not afford. They were afforded credit they did not rate. Let's see here. Oh, this is so Hunter starts fooling around with Bo's wife, Haley. We think after Bo died. We think. But the amazing thing here, and she writes this, once that affair becomes public, what does Joe Biden do? And what does Dr. Jill do? They come out and they support them publicly. The only time she expresses anger in the book is when writing about the statement Hunter and his father gave to Page 6 when news broke of his affair with Haley. And actually, I'll say this is one slight. I think it wasn't from Hunter. It was from Jill and Joe. We've been so lucky to have family and friends who have supported us every step of the way. Okay. And she writes in the book, they were lucky, supported every step of the way, no mention of the family he'd left behind. She had been suspicious that her husband was spending so much time with his sister-in-law after Bo died of brain cancer, but their therapist told her it was an important part of the grieving process. The evidence came in November 2016 when the daughters told her in their therapist's office that they had seen incriminating texts between the lovers on his phone. How could I have missed the truth when it was right there? I thought back to the signs, all the weeks and months that he had been living with Haley in Delaware, their trips, their pictures online that made me cry. Oh my goodness gracious. So he was doing it basically openly and lying to her, but everybody can see it. Now listen to this, the cell phone from hell. You heard about the laptop from hell? That night she went through a phone Hunter had left behind when he'd moved out the previous year and discovered his sordid secret life, which would become public knowledge through his abandoned laptop 4 years later. While I'd felt as if I was losing my mind, he'd been living a strange new life I didn't recognize at all. The texts were filled with curses and graphic sexual references. He was mean at times and then strangely tender with dozens of women, none of whom I'd ever heard of before. I was struck by the number of them who clearly thought they could save him. Oh, that's a routine these guys do. She provides only glimmers of the verbal abuse. What a jerk. This is terrible. And Joe Biden, by the way, this is one of the reasons why you don't run for president.
It's Curtis Lewa, and I want to bring you some important information regarding the pandemic nursing home scandal, which resulted in so many unnecessary deaths. To shed some light on this important issue, I have Jeff Guzman here from the law firm of Krenzel, Guzman, Herbert. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me, Curtis.
Jeff, is it true that former Governor Cuomo mandated that nursing homes take in COVID patients?
Most New Yorkers mistakenly believe that was the case. However, it's not true. The state only issued guidance to nursing homes suggesting that they admit such patients, and even after the guidance was rescinded shortly thereafter, nursing homes continued to admit COVID-positive patients.
Jeff, hold on. So you're saying that these nursing homes do bear some of the responsibility for what happened?
Yes, I am. These nursing homes greatly increased the risk to existing residents. Also, nursing homes may have made financially motivated decisions to admit COVID-positive patients despite the known risk to existing residents. Then Governor Cuomo's administration underreported nursing home COVID deaths by 50%. The actual number was roughly 16,000 deaths.
It makes so many of us so angry. So you're saying that those family members can sue these nursing homes?
Yes, and my firm is representing many of them.
When you were on the air with Sid Rosenberg, the phones blew up.
They did. I think a lot of people just didn't know who to call or that their family might be entitled to compensation. I'm glad to get the message out that at Krenzel Guzman Herbert, we're working hard to fight on behalf of these families.
To everyone listening out there, if you or a friend lost a loved one to COVID, call Jeff Guzman and his team at KG Law today. Jeff, where can you be reached?
You can call our office at 212-227-2900 or visit us at kglawteam.com.
That's the KG Law Team at 212-227-2900. Or just go to kglawteam.com. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Curtis.